Welcome back, future millionaires. Today's video is about 20 best tips of Dave Ramsey on financial education. Here at Millionaire Mindset, we make videos to help you get into the right mindset to succeed financially. If you are new, do hit that subscribe button. Watch till number 1, you don't want to miss what we saved for last. Okay, let's get into the video. In researching personal finance and debt freedom tips, the Dave Ramsey tips you find are definitely ones to pay attention to. And researching the best hacks and advice is exactly what you should do when you start on your financial freedom journey. These are the best Dave Ramsey tips and they will help you stick to your budget, save money, and pay off your debt for good. Before we begin, why don't you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so that you never miss any of our videos. Let's begin. Number 20. Create a zero-based budget with the envelope system. Have you heard about this one? The concept is that if you ran your budget and paid your bills entirely on a cash system, you'd set aside the money for each line item of your budget in its very own envelope. As a zero budget, you'd have every penny of expected income each month assigned to an envelope in your system. When you only touch a set, smaller amount of money per bill, you're way less likely to overspend on anyone's budget item. This can definitely be done just as well with a non-cash system, it just requires a little more diligence and discipline on your part. Number 19. Stop buying new cars. His concept is this: as soon as you drive off the lot, your investment depreciates, i.e. loses value. If the average brand new car depreciates in value by 18% in its first year alone, it clearly makes far more sense to try to buy a one-year-old car for 18% off the sticker price instead. The best way to avoid falling for this common pitfall is this: when you decide you want a new car, but you don't, in fact, need one, find the car you want, at the best deal you can find, then figure out what the monthly payment would be. Out of your monthly budget, assuming it's within your budget to do so, set that amount of cash aside in a cookie jar until you've saved up the cash value of that car. Number 18. Buy a modest home you can afford. The biggest expense most people have in their life is their home. Dave's advice is to buy a small modest home so you don't overextend yourself. A good rule of thumb is keeping your housing expenses under 30% of your take-home income. Better yet, give yourself some more wiggle room and keep it under 25% of your take-home income. If you fall into the trap of buying too big of a home, all of your other expenses will follow. You will also naturally buy more things to fill the space in the house. Keep things simple and buy a comfortable house your family can afford and give you a good quality of life. Number 17. Keep your current cell phone. In today's culture, this is probably one of the hardest concepts to wrap your head around. If you asked Dave Ramsey for tips for cell phones, he'd probably tell you that so long as it still makes a call and maybe can send a text, it still works and doesn't need replacement. Instead of buying a brand new phone just because it's 2 years old, keep your phone until it literally doesn't work anymore. At that point, buy a phone that's 1 to 2 models old or used, refurbished, instead of wasting money on the latest, new models. Number 16. Pay off your credit card balances each month, or don't have cards at all. A lot of people fall for the corporate trap that to be affluent, you need to charge it to your card. Typically, the only people who truly benefit from this are the credit card companies. Sure, you might earn some rewards, but how much money do you need to spend to earn a 1% reward that's worth something? When you get $1 for every $100 spent, it might be a better idea to just pay cash and not run the risk of accruing a 12 to 30% interest charge. If you can't seem to break the cycle of getting charged interest on your cards, here Dave Ramsey's best advice is his famed plastic surgery: cut up the cards and say good riddance. Number 15. Pay cash whenever possible. We've already talked about good debt, bad debt, credit cards, and cars. Every single time you pay with any method besides cold, hard cash, you run the high risk of paying over and above the actual price due to the IOU fee, also called interest. Number 14. You don't actually need a credit score. A lot of people like to tell you that you need a credit score or else you won't qualify for a loan. We'll ask you to see number 6, and realize that if you always pay cash, you'll never need a loan, so who cares? And despite what the mortgage companies and realtors tell you, you do not need a credit score to be approved for a mortgage. The mortgage companies make interest on your use of their financial products, and many realtors get small commissions for referring clients to companies and banks they have a relationship with. Number 13. Have an emergency fund. Paying cash for everything and avoiding as many sources of interest charges as possible sounds like you'll be good to go, right? Well, misery loves company and problems are bound to come up sometimes. Where to put an emergency fund, you ask? When you build your small fluid $1,000 emergency fund as part of following Dave Ramsey's advice, you'll want that to be cash or an easily accessed savings account. This will cover things like smaller car repairs or furnace repairs. As you make it through Dave Ramsey's baby steps, you'll eventually build a much bigger emergency fund to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses should some seriously bad luck hit. This should also be a fairly fluid account. Number 12. Minimize your expenses. The fewer things you need to give up your money to each month, theoretically the less money you'll be spending each month. Chances are good you'd do just fine without that magazine subscription, the weekly dinner out, or that third streaming service. Turn it into a fun game, to see just how many things you can truly remove from your budget and then see how big you can grow your debt snowball. Number 11. Increase your income. While better managing your money and shrinking your expenses are both huge in terms of getting your finances in order, sometimes that still isn't quite enough to see much difference. Whether it's selling off your dust collecting junk from your attic or finding a way to make a little extra cash on the side, increasing your income is a great way to quickly see your budget stretch farther. The easier and less time-consuming the side hustle is, the better. If you can make money while you watch TV, well, that's the dream, right? Number 10. Go for free stuff whenever possible. Most Dave Ramsey tips include advice to get you to spend less, with a preference being on taking advantage of free stuff whenever possible. There's no shame in accepting or asking for unwanted, old furniture from family or friends. Number 9. Avoid brand names. There's no hard and fast rule that says that brand names are superior to off-brands or generics. Sure, there might be a few exceptions, but in general, you'll save a lot of money not paying for a name. You'll also save valuable time by not needing to shop around for a sale price since generics are typically consistent prices all year long. Number 8. Unsubscribe from emails with discount offers. If you've signed up for newsletters from stores or brands, you're definitely receiving subscriber-only discounts. Those discounts, though, offer the big temptation to spend money. Why? Those companies understand the psychology of consumers, that most shoppers will spend money purely to not miss out on the deal, before they even realize that they didn't need to buy any of it in the first place. When you truly need something from that site, sign up for their emails then and unsubscribe after you've used the coupon. Number 7. Stop eating out all the time. The amount of money people spending on eating out every year is insane. Learning how to cook from home will not only save your bank but also your health. The fewer calories you consume, the less weight you could gain, which minimizes weight-related health risks. Having less food per meal means less food in the house, which obviously makes your grocery trips smaller, faster, and cheaper. Number 6. Save, save, save. With a whole plan of baby steps to follow, the common theme with all of them is to save your money. Spend less, put the rest away, is the basis of all the Dave Ramsey tips you'll find. In a nutshell, start by saving money on the expenses you can't get away from. Don't buy what you don't need, buy less of what you do need if possible, and always make sure you're getting the best deal so you're not spending more money than needed on any one thing. Number 5. Save $1,000 before paying off debt. Saving $1,000 is the first baby step in Dave Ramsey's plan. Making your zero-based budget and catching up on your 4 walls are groundwork for the baby steps. Saving a $1,000 starter emergency fund will help you avoid adding new debt while you are working on baby step 2. This won't solve all your problems, but it will be a buffer while you work on other things. It will help you cover minor things that will pop up while you are paying on your debt. If your income is below the poverty line, you can save $500 for this step instead of $1,000. However, keep in mind that you won't be able to cover as much if something comes up. Number 4. Act your wage. Dave often says to act your wage and to stop spending like you are in Congress. What he means by this is to live in your means. Stop trying to keep up with the Jones and be content with what you have. You only have so much money coming in every month. You can't live like you can afford Rolexes, BMWs, and Starbucks every day on minimum wage. You have to manage the money you have well now so you can build long-term wealth and retire comfortably. Number 3. Save 15% at least for retirement. Once you are debt-free except the mortgage, and have your emergency fund fully funded, then you get to start investing. Dave Ramsey recommends saving 15% of your gross income in retirement accounts. He recommends investing in your company's 401k up to the match and then the rest in a Roth IRA. Depending on your income, you may need to invest more in your 401k or a traditional IRA depending on your situation. Saving 15% of your income will help set you up for retirement, and be able to live comfortably in the future. Number 2. Sell so much stuff that the kids think they are next. This goes along with working. While you are saving and paying off debt, start selling so much stuff the kids think they are next. When I was paying off debt, I sold all my living room and bedroom decor. It ended up looking like I just moved in, but you know what, it helped. We were also able to sell a couple of big things, like trailers and four-wheelers that cut our debt payoff time by months. Get to work having a yard sale, decluttering, and paying off your debt. Even if you sell items for $1 at a yard sale, you can make several $100s in a weekend. Number 1. Give generously. Dave Ramsey's entire plan and philosophy is based on being able to give generously. This is one of the main reasons for managing your money well. Being able to give to others without worrying about how to pay your own bills is a very rewarding experience. Imagine all the people you could help if you didn't have any debt, plenty of savings and retirement funds. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos of business ideas to make money and much more. Check out this playlist of my top 10 videos of tips by experts, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.